Hello everyone, this is Ciderhelm. Welcome to this video. This is the first of its kind from me, at least. I'm going to be narrating a game as I play it. And I'm going to be doing it on a champion combo, kind of related to Team Builder, and the release of Team Builder, kind of related to that. I'm going to be showing off the Cassiopeia bottom lane. This is something, if you've watched my streams, you're already very familiar with this. This is how I originally placed last season, Season 3, for Ranked. I won 9 of my 10 placement games doing this. It worked fantastically. I've really enjoyed this combo. And so I'm going to expand on it a little bit and explain to you how it works. First off, I normally pick up a Doran's Ring to start. It is a good idea to build a tier if you're not running a Soraka. Originally, I would only run Cassiopeia bottom lane with a Soraka because of the mana returns on that. So it multiplied really well because Cassiopeia's passive, something you're going to see pretty quick here. If you look at that buff right there, Cassiopeia's passive stacks, and every time it stacks, just stacks a little buff, all of your spells cost less mana, and it stacks up to 5 times, which is a 50% mana reduction. It's actually kind of awesome. So anyway, you reduce your spells by 50%, the cost on them, and it's not that expensive anyway, 35 mana, so you're talking about like, what is that, about 17 mana? A little over 17 mana that's per cast. And then you have a Soraka feeding you mana, and you can sustain it effectively indefinitely, which is really cool. So that's why I used to run only Cassiopeia Soraka. However, I have broken off because she is a fantastic champion at bottom. Her sustained damage, her sustained damage is burst damage. That's why she is such a badass champion. She is essentially like a late-game carry, late-game marksman, but she's like that at all stages of the game. Once she's like level 3, she's about that strong. So anyway, where was I going with that? Oh, tier is a good idea. If you're not going to run with a support that has mana, i.e. Soraka, tier is a really good idea. Now, in this particular matchup, this is going to probably show off her weaknesses more than her strengths. Because this is actually a terrible team for us to go against. This is actually not the absolute worst. Karma and Janna are both really hard to deal with. Ashe is actually surprisingly hard to deal with because of her lack of mobility. That's why it's a surprise. Let's see if I can. Probably not. I should wait for her to go in for a... Here's why. Exactly what you just saw. She can tumble out of my skill shots. And actually, if you look at their team comp, they also have a Lee Sin. They also have a Katarina. So me actually landing my skill shots, and I'm a very skill shot dependent champion, me actually landing those is going to be difficult. Vayne is one of the harder counters to deal with in the lane if she's good, if she's reactive to the poisons being dropped. Looks like she is pretty reactive, so that is going to be a problem. I do rely on landing my poisons. If you don't land the poisons, you can't machine gun the E, and machine gunning the E, basically while you have a poison on your target, your E goes down to a really super short cooldown. So we've actually landed a couple there. That's really good. That's going to really drop her down. See if And there's little things you can do. Hopefully Lux is also trying to last hit here because I will miss a lot of CS, especially early on. She is not a marksman. I don't have any attack damage to speak of. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, pick that up. That was brutal. I actually thought I had my W. If you heard me press a key and I was very surprised I didn't land my W, it's because it was so early. Once I have my W, which is basically in just a sliver of a bar here, that's going to be really helpful. So, and I should mention I'm a little out of practice, but it doesn't really matter. Yeah, flash is up. Doesn't really matter. You're going to see the strengths and weaknesses of this as we go. So speaking of tier, while I'm running back to lane, watch me stack the buff. I do not always remember to do this, but this is actually a really cool thing when you do remember to do it and you have an excuse to keep doing it. So I'm stacking the buff, casting it right before it's about to expire. And when I get to lane, because the tier builds a little bit of mana, and because I do have that mana regen going, I am going to be in the quite fortunate position of being able to spam my spells for a little bit. it's actually kind of cool. Now, you don't want to let it drop and then be redoing it every time, because then you're going to pay. The unfortunate downside to this is Cassiopeia, when you do this, pushes a lane really hard. If you're trying to harass and your opponents are standing in the middle of minions. See, I just let it drop, unfortunately, by talking to you guys. Although, even if I wasn't talking to you guys, I probably would have lost focus and let it drop anyway. There we go. That's good. Now, you have options here. Oh, if that one had oh, that is unfortunate. Never mind. You have options in how you level your skills. Unfortunately, I didn't take my W. Well, I guess there's that. But now I have my W. If I take my Q, I'm going to push the lane harder. I'm going to get a little bit more reliable damage out. And I just realized I wasn't running my health potions earlier for that little fight where she died anyway. It would have been the same result. I could have flashed too. I could have been a better player. Let's go ahead and just put that out here. So if I take my Q and I level it, I'm going to be able to push faster, but it doesn't give me the burst if people want to close in on me. And actually, I probably shouldn't be. Probably shouldn't be getting too ballsy here. And probably shouldn't be putting my points into my Q right now, because the E is incredibly, incredibly good for any kind of sustained close-in engagement. I'm going to focus just a little bit on last hitting here. And I'm going to start putting my points into my E. It's a little late. If I could get 3 points into it by now, that would have been a lot better. But you do what you can. Sudden aggression is usually a bad sign. And I'm just barely undershooting this. I really need to be landing those poisons. Not that big of a deal, but it does make a big difference in how effective you are in lane. I'm just going to try to get as much damage out as I can. Pretty sure there was no way I was walking out of that, even if I walked straight back. So I turned around, tried to get as much damage out as I can, which is good. That's the right thing to do. Now, one of the things you're going to notice, I'm very, very susceptible to burst damage. And so my first item purchases, the problem with tier is it delays your first important item purchases, which is you want to go for the Haunting Guise, and ideally you want to go for a Rylai's Crystal Scepter as soon as possible. Oh, this is going to be nice if we can turn this into a kill. Oh my god, that was scary. Nope, 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 no, 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 no! Okay, so coming back down here, 650, that's only 650 that I need, but I don't want to sell my Dorns for it, and by now, it's too late anyway. So, I have the 2 points in E, or my Q, so I'm going to be able to push pretty effectively here, which is good, but I'm not going to be able to last hit those cannon minions as reliably if there's a lot of, minions on them. So even right there, the E is incredibly good for last hitting when you can use it for that. The Q is a little less reliable for it, because you are relying on those dot ticks, and you are kind of relying on not seeing too much spike damage at the wrong time. So I'm going to go ahead and try to ward here and see if I get myself killed in the process. Hopefully not. I do have my ultimate. With Lux here, that's a huge, huge thing. We knew when they were coming in. We knew when they had the fiddle coming in, because they made it very clear. Oh my god. Oh, good. Thank god. Now I'm playing with fire here if the fiddle is waiting right over there. I didn't actually pay attention to the minimap all that much. But as good a time as any. There we go. Thank heavens. So we can actually push pretty well. One of the drawbacks to Cassiopeia, unfortunately, is she is not a good pusher. Quite fortunately, on the other hand, we have some decent tower pushing potential on this team. But when you don't, it actually makes for games that shouldn't be drawn out, even if you do incredibly well, games that shouldn't be drawn out wind up getting drawn out quite a bit because you're not able to take a tower down until a little later in the game. So right now I can go ahead and pick up... Oh, this is another tough purchase for me. I'm going back without quite enough money to make the big difference here. I can pick this up, but I'd really prefer to pick this up. Because this, again, I'm sacrificing damage here for a lot of survivability, but I can pick this up, and I should have moved to the edge of the platform at the same time. Whatever, it doesn't really matter. Let's go ahead and get back down here. And I have my barrier up. Now, I'm gonna be making mistakes. I'm gonna be playing sloppy. It's just how it happens, and it's not real sloppiness. It's just floppiness. Take it for what it is. Lux is gonna be able to do just fine here. I don't think... That's actually a pretty good purchase, the Frost Queen chain. And since I have more points in E, notice how easy it is for me to last hit with the last hit B. That's about the 4th or 5th time that I've actually sold my shot my Q just a little short on them. And that's cost us a number of times. If I was landing it right on them and getting the poison applied, we would have a much bigger advantage in the lane right now. Now, I do have my ultimate available, so that's really good. And right now, I am able to kind of harass with... Perfect. And we have Fiddlesticks down here. We know that's happening. And I have got a number of points in my E now, and that's a really good thing. If we go and do Dragon, we are going to get... Oh, God. I mean, I know Fiddle's down here, so this is a hellish idea. Let's do something dangerous. What are they trying to do? The advantage... Nice. Again, very easy if you're putting points in your E to... Oh, wow, I didn't even realize we had this tower down so low. That's fantastic. I'd be worried right there. I'd be worried about that Fiddle being right around there. We should be able to pick this up. Again, this game is not at all in favor of Cassiopeia. This is actually just a very rough game for her because of the mobility of the enemy team. Usually, if you have a team that is a little less mobile, it's going to be a lot better. Very nice. Very nice. And, I mean, we picked it up. We got what we needed to, and... Oh, damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it. I'm going to actually pick these wolves up.
Of course.
I don't want to go back and not pick up the Giant's Belt again. And I don't want to be sitting around forever either. So this is a good compromise because I get some extra gold out of doing it too. And I get to take it away from my Kayle, which is always pleasant. I do love taking away from other players on the team for my own benefit. That's actually really the only effective way to play the game. Play it very selfishly and you're going to win more games. I am being somewhat sarcastic here, but on the other hand, I am a bit of a troll when I play, so a positive troll, a good troll. I am the kind of troll that has fun while stealing your buffs and tries to let you have fun too while your buffs are being stolen. Alright, we're coming back down to bottom lane. Lux is already here again. Rough lane. We're very skill shot reliant. But I think this is going in our favor. I think it's going to break in our favor. But Vayne, I don't know. We'll see. Depends on just how survivable she winds up being. Nice. Where is she? Oh god, I want that so bad. Now, if you actually can, like if you have an 80 carry at mid, it is a good idea for you to be taking the blue buff. The cool thing about the blue buff... Oh, come on, NASA. Oh, no. The cool thing about Cassiopeia in the blue buff is she is incredibly good at taking it on her own. She really doesn't need a lot of help with it. She can pick it up. It's extremely helpful for her. But again, this kind of comes down to the core philosophy of why Cassiopeia is good. A lot of people are like, well, you need a marksman because the marksman is really going to scale up in damage and they're going to be amazing. Cassiopeia does that too. Cassiopeia is very much like a marksman in that regard. She is skill shot reliant. You do have to land one of your poisons before you can machine gun your E, but her damage is insanely good. She's also very good at sustained poke. I do see what's going on in the river here. I think we can turn this into a really... Yeah, you're gone. You are gone. You're not gone. God. Never mind. You're not gone. There we go. I just want to jump in there.
Don't make me beg.
I can flash over the wall, but it'd be a blind jump. I mean, I have an idea. I don't know where the Sona is, among other things. That's kind of a big deal. Am I going to get a fiddle on me right now? I don't know. Nope, I'm good. If I had been a little more aggressive there, we would have had a good kill there. That was not the right spell to use. I needed to use my Q and my W, not my W. W, which is kind of the big slowing field, it's a very, very strong spell, but it is a slow ticking spell. It's not something that you're going to rely on for last hitting usually, but it's a ton of damage if people stay in it for a while. It's just an incredibly good zoning tool, etc., etc. I love it. It's a great spell, but it is not how you clear minions. Your Q and to a degree your E when you can get away with it is how you clear minions. So I'm pretty close on this. In fact, I'm close enough that I'm going to go ahead and just sell the Dorans and pick it up. Now I have my core items. I really need to get boots soon. And then I'm going to go for the Leandries as well. So you're going to get a lot of damage out here. You're going to get the full slow on the E of Rylai's. That is what makes Cassiopeia. That's why Rylai's is a must-purchase item for Cassiopeia. It's just amazing. Also, I need to be stacking my tier here. So... Blue makes it like you just aren't going to run out of mana while you're at full stacks, and one of those things where you just kind of have to get in the habit of doing it, and I'm more in the habit when I play more Cassiopeia bottom lane, but I haven't in a little while, so here we go. I say I haven't in a little while, but I almost always play at least 1 or 2 games of her when I'm playing regularly, so... Spell Vamp is another item that, or another stat that does pretty well on Cass. It's certainly something you want to consider when it's an option. And that should tick out good. That was kind of risky. I didn't know if it would really tick out or not. Now, one of the cool things about Cassiopeia is she is extremely good in 1v2 situations. She is extremely good at being kind of out in a lane and forcing people to respond to the lane. Again, we are actually playing against somewhat counters. Okay. Picked up the vein, but we're both going to die here. Or maybe... No. Nope. 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 Oh, God. No, 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 no. Oh. And that was with the shield, too. That was with the shield. Was that just a bouncing blade? I didn't see if she got her full combo off, but it looked like it was just a bouncing blade that killed her. Wow. So, Katarina's doing decently well. At least right there, that was... Oh, okay. Okay. So, do not pick up Berserker's Greaves. Now, Cassiopeia is interesting. A lot of people will tell you never to get cooldown reduction on Cassiopeia. And they're sort of right. You don't really explicitly want to go after cooldown reduction all that much. The reason for that is all you really need to do is land your poison on an enemy. That's your Q or your W. And once you do that, again, you get to machine gun your Twin Fang. It's got a 0.5 second cooldown as soon as you collide with a target, which is really cool. It's why, again, it comes back down to why she actually is comparable to a marksman. She has sustained burst damage. So anyway, you get to do that. However, I do think cooldown reduction, when it happens to be something you can pick up for a utility reason or, get blue buff, things like that, it's still really ridiculously good on her. Especially if you can max it out, because things like your W here, you can actually get 2 Ws to overlap. And these things create pretty big fields. It's a great way of zoning an enemy keen. So you aren't getting your... It's not like the best stat ever because it doesn't affect your E all that much, but another thing it does affect your E is it lets you cast your poisons more frequently. So if you're more likely to miss your poisons, you're more likely to get it back up and actually land your next poison on somebody and get your machine gun damage out. If you are... Let's see if I can get over here and help out. Oh god. This is what I mean by drawing the attention of other people. And if you were ever curious on exactly why she is the best champion ever. The best champion ever. That is exactly why. Farewell, Lux. Farewell, Lux. That is exactly why. Let me go ahead and drop this ward. I actually prefer to drop it a little over there, but I didn't right there because I'm a baddie. I wouldn't do that. Katarina is going to get a quadrupenta kill here. In fact, I also really want that blue, but I'm not quite alive enough to get it. Oh god, I want it so bad. You're gonna take it. Yeah, I'm gonna take it because I'm a nice guy. Thank you. Cassiopeia. I've played a bit of Cassiopeia jungle, and she's actually decent when you can get over kind of that early hump. I've played Cassiopeia literally everywhere. The only place I don't really like her is mid, which is kind of strange, but it's true. I don't particularly care for her at mid. I have more damage, but I still don't have higher speed boots. That's not that big of a deal. Anyway, her jungle is actually kind of cool, but you have to get a variety of utility items to make it work. You wind up not quite having the same damage, but you do wind up having a ton of utility, which is really cool. But I do think that her strength really as a champion relies on her getting the damage out, so when you go way too high on the mobility, you are kind of... Oh... Oh my god. Look at that. Yeah, we can do this. So like right here, it's a really good idea to drop your W because you're going to get a whole ton of damage out on your W there. I have blue buff, whatever. I should be spamming my E right there. And I'm not because I'm a baddie. Take it for what it is. Let's see if I can get a whole bunch of farm here. God, Cassiopeia is the best champion ever. I don't know why I don't play her. The reason I stopped playing her in ranked is by around the time I was like around platinum last season, I started... Okay, so Vayne is pretty popular, and she was very popular. Vayne is very hard for me to deal with. Janna was very popular. A good Janna is very hard to deal with. And those two is just kind of like... It's kind of hard to pick against those two and not feel like you're gonna... We still maintained a positive win rate on it, but... Not a positive enough. Not like I did with Amumu, because Amumu is a godlike champion. I don't know. So that's why I kind of shifted away from it, is because we wound up playing against a lot of really hard counters that were really skilled players. They need to be skilled players. We got somebody coming in here. Yeah, no way I can do anything about that. She was going to catch up to me no matter what. I was kind of hoping I'd get enough damage. Yeah, right. Getting hopeful there. You are playing with fire. You are playing with fire. Nope. Nope. Yeah, that's, Alright, what are my options here? I mean, I kind of have to deal with the Katarina. I kind of have to get the boots. I need to get the boots. That's not a choice. The question is how much I want to go. Whatever. Let's just do it. It's not ideal. I don't really like picking up a Zhonya's on her because the Zhonya's is just basically interrupting yourself. Your damage is constant. It's not like picking up a Zhonya's on, say, a Lux. You pick up a Zhonya's on a Lux, you get all your damage out, and then you've got this downtime where you can activate the Zhonya's, usually when you're being bursted down after using your combo. You've got this downtime where you're not really losing much damage. Cassiopeia, you lose a ton of damage on it. But I do like having the armor. Enough so that I'm willing to. He is so amazing. The other route I could have obviously gone is finishing off my Archangels, but Archangels, I don't know. I'm not... It's a fantastically good item. I don't know. I like getting a lot of damage quickly, and Archangels helps with that. I'm just never sold on it, whether to... whether the shield is more valuable, or whether going for, like, the invuln effect from the Zhonya's, which, even though I just dissed it, is still good for its own stuff. and the passive armor of the Zhonya's. I've got no good answer for that right now. So I'm gonna stop even talking about it. We should be able to pick off this this Vayne if we can catch her. Goodbye. I looked at the minimap. I saw them engaging on us, and I assumed that the somebody was coming down, but it looked like everybody was accounted for. But of course, I'm not paying attention to the fiddle. 2 versus 3, we took out 2, we lost 2. The Sona's the only one that lived. Still went really well in our favor. Against mobile champions, against the Vayne, who is able to step out of stuff, we still picked it off that well. And that's, again, she's really good at that. When you get less mobile champions, you tend to be able to go 1 versus 2, 1 versus 3, or 2 versus 3, 2 versus 4. And when you're in that situation where you're kind of snowballing at bottom lane, everybody comes to you and feeds you kills, which is fantastic. Spell Vamp. Oh, I'm so tempted by this. In fact, I'm going to wait it out. Spell Vamp right there would have helped so much. Spell Vamp and I probably would have won that fight. Just outright won it. Poop. He would take that. Again, I should have gone to the edge here, but oh well, not a big deal. And that's fully stacked. My tier is fully stacked. Skara left Dignitas today as I'm recording this, and believe me, my tier is fully stacked. So that's why I'm playing Cat. To be honest, this whole video is just an excuse for me to play a champion that stacks tiers, because my tier is fully stacked in real life, and I want my tier in game to also be fully stacked. It's rough. I really like Skara. I really do like Skara. That's not just me bullshitting. I think he's one of the classiest players. I think he's a really good guy. I think, yeah. Not that I don't like the other members of Dignitas. Don't get me wrong. What am I even doing? We're just idling around. Like, why are we doing this? Going bottom would be a good idea. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. I didn't realize everybody was there. Oh god, I'm the worst. What happened to our... I mean, not... That sounds like I'm making excuses. What I say, what happened to our mid? I was tunnel visioning hard. Let's see. Lux is pretty good at holding a tower, clearing the wave. Has her ult up. Should be able to... That works too. I was going to say, should be able to clear the wave. But it looks like we have enough wave clear here, and they're not going to try pushing, which is good. But it does make me a little sad. That is not the wall you meant to make. I guarantee you that. See if I can get back down here as soon as possible. I don't think they're going to take this before we're back for a fight. Oh my god. That's a total lie. I don't have my ult. Oh my god. Nice. So that's good. Wow. By the way, if you watch my video about how, oh god, I really, okay, Vayne's bot. If you watch my video about, let's see if I can even get there in time. I don't want to go through the jungle, but I do want to save the tower. I have my flash, I don't have my ult. She's not coming this way, good. She's likely waiting for me right there, thinking I'm gonna come. She might show back up in lane, or she might go to mid, or something like that. I don't even remember the last thing I was trying to say. I'm sure it was helpful. Oh, I was talking about short-range champions versus long-range champions. One of the things that you may have just noticed there. So Kayle and I are short-range champions, and I have an incredible amount of short-range power. Just absurd. And that's a good thing, right? What happened there was Lee Sin came in. I was still kind of at the edge of my rank. I should clarify. This isn't fair to say about Cassiopeia, because I always do this. A lot of people have this idea, and I am included in it, in thinking Cassiopeia is a short-range champion. And she is not obviously as long a range as a Vel'Koz or a Xerath or a Lux or a Kog'Maw or a Ziggs. She's not that long of a range. But she's not the shortest range champion either. And, I mean, her poisons really get some good distance on them. She's only short range when it comes to dropping her E on a target. You know what would be a really dick thing to do? I really do like this person. Oh, see, they saved it. They made me not a jerk. Thank you, Smoothie World. I do know all the people I'm in queue with, so you don't think I'm just trolling randoms when I randomly steal stuff, although I think I'm pretty tame on those standards. Anyway, Cassiopeia just unleashes an enormous amount of short-range damage. Lee Sin is a mobile champion. He came in range involuntarily. Lee Sin's a little overpowered. He is getting those nerfs, so there's that. But we're going to get flanked so hard. We are about to get flanked so hard. Oh my god, we're about to get flanked. This is like the... Ouch. Ouch. I hope I don't pay for this too hard. I didn't pay for it too hard. That's good. We could go for... This is really extremely dangerous of me to be going into our own jungle here. They could be a Baron. Like, we would have no way of knowing if they were a Baron because we just wouldn't. I know, that's deep. What should I go for in items at this point? I can finish out... I mean, we're not checking Baron, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, they got it. She didn't pick up my blue. That's what I was making sure of.
I'm listening. An ally has been slain.
Yeah, that's what I mean, by the way. That is a Baron buffed Vayne who is doing well. Again, that is a Baron buffed Vayne who is doing well. And I beat her one-on-one. Cassiopeia easily matches the damage of a... I should actually focus on getting to my team now. Easily matches the damage of a marksman, even the hyper carries. The main thing is she is short range and she lacks mobility. So, yeah. I mean, she's got the damage. She's got the utility. She's got the zoning potential, but she is short range and she lacks mobility. A couple assassins can wreck her day. A little bit of hard crowd control at the wrong time can wreck her day. You do want to build survivability on her, but her damage is godlike. Just absolutely godlike. You can carry all sorts of games with it. There are just some champions that you really struggle with. Unfortunately, I can only handle one lane at a time. Guardian Angel will be the ultimate troll item for me to build. I do have my ult up. Oh, he's going. Alright. I don't technically have my ult up, but I have my ult up soon, which is something. I'm dead. Oh, thank God. I'm actually happy that he killed me before I had a chance. I didn't have a chance to do anything there. I didn't have a chance to ult. I was kind of surprised. I did see him here. I didn't think he would see me coming in here. Whatever. Good call on his part. I am very happy Vayne did not pick up that kill. But again, going back to the crowd control is what's amazing against the Cassiopeia. Pantheon spelled a lot of trouble for her. Hold on. I have these two unfinished items, and I'm kind of a baddie, and somebody's going to point it out in this video. Why didn't you finish this? Well, screw you. Because I'm a baddie, and you're going to have to deal with this. So I have two unfinished items that aren't doing anything for me, and that's actually really bad because I can't do anything else in the meantime. Got the reset. Poop. I'm not going to defend that. This is a quick way to lose a game. Is for me to go in and try to 1v5. Oh my God. Oh my God. Even the Sona didn't expect that I'd die that quick. I know better. Oh my God, though. Goodbye, Nasus. This is just a slaughter. This is an absolute slaughter. We're really far behind. I'm not personally really far behind, but our team is really far behind, and this is, I think, going to just be the end of it. No, it's not. Actually, we're going to pick up at least one. That Vayne's going to come in behind. No, she's not. Okay, what's going on? Oh, I really, really would love to be able to finish one. I need to. I need 220 more gold. Oh. I absolutely need 220 more gold. Oh, this is super dangerous. I'm gonna get myself killed doing this. Just a little bit more gold. Not having one of these items. Okay, we're good. Not having one of these items is really costing me. How? I didn't even realize we were doing quite this bad until I just looked at the scoreboard. That's rough. That's rough. Oh well. It's not the end of the world. I have a little bit more survivability. They are doing a good job pushing, and I can really only be at one lane at a time, and I don't have a lot of map mobility. I can't move very quickly, so that is causing a problem. But right now I've got a whole lot of damage lined up. I've got a whole lot of close range threat lined up, and I think we're going to be good on this. All right.
Say please.
What are my options? Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, come on, come on, come on.
No fun.
Oh, no, no. Oh, he had vision on me right there. But see, look at this. This is good split pushing 101. Vayne's going to go up there because I mean, not because I'm down here probably, but she is certainly going to be up there. And what am I going to do about it, right? All right. We had a little bit more threat. Oh, I got to watch out. That is death. You know, I actually, if I were smart,
Don't be coy.
I would. That was nice. If I were smart here, I would actually pick up the red lens with... with the oracles, so I could handle the Vayne just a little bit more easily, so my team could. I just really want an opportunity here. I think I can kill the Katarina 1v1 with no problem. As long as I land... Okay, I don't even technically need to land my ultimate to kill her, but I need to land my poisons, and I'm probably, if I miss my ultimate, I'm going to miss my poisons as well. It'll be up to my timing my reactions. Yeah, okay, that worked. Now I've got to go and recover health before I go back out here, because I am fodder. I am absolute fodder. All items. Show me the red lens. Show me this. And let's see if I can make use of that at all. And you know what? I'm a snake. Oh. Oh my god, my situational awareness is god awful. I had no idea until just then that the fiddlesticks was there. I thought I was just keeping my distance at low health from the Lee Sin. See, this is why I am not Challenger. This I may know the game, but I am not Challenger because of things like this. Okay. So I can build the Zhonya's at some point. The Zhonya's isn't, practically speaking, going to do a whole lot for me. I'm actually more tempted to go along these lines. Or you know what? I'm even more tempted to go along the Abyssal Scepter line. But for right this second, it doesn't actually matter. Oh my, look at all that
damage. I am so bad. That is 87. Yeah. 93% of my health was from Fiddlesticks and 7% from the Lee Sin. Because I'm a terrible player. Well, take it for what it is. Where do I want to go? See, I want to buy elixirs too for the short game. And I am not sure if I'm going to pay for that really hard. Maybe I will. We'll find out. Because that does delay my final item a bit. Yeah, they're probably doing it. Those clear so nicely when you have some ability power. Now, of course, I have my barrier available too. Just little things like that, so. Yeah. All right, what are my options? Now, whether I actually use this effectively or not is a whole different question. He's going to try coming over the wall. Yeah, that's going to hurt. Anytime I get my poisons on them, it does hurt them quite a bit over time. The Lee Sin's a little bulkier, but just a few poisons. Again, against a very mobile team, unfortunately. Oh, that's right. I forgot. This is what I bought. Unfortunately, that probably wasn't the best time to do that. All right, what do we have here? Wow. That was actually kind of amazing, that binding. At least I don't think there was any vision on the binding. So I'm going to stick with my team as much as possible, but I don't know how much split pushing there's going to be here. Looks like there's going to be some. Mid we don't need to defend, but top we do. And top's going to push up soon. And that's kind of scary to me.
You're no fun.
All right. So here we are. Bouncing around, sieged. Not really turtling because they are actively here. We could go out and start a fight, but the problem with going out and starting a fight while a split push is going on is we lose our base because we cannot even react to our base. We can't react to one of the lanes. We go out too far, and there's just nothing we can do because they get that time, and then we have the additional travel time we have to worry about, which is pretty rough. Oh, my elixir's about to run out too. That's unfortunate. Oh, well. They're just waiting for their Yasuo. 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 Come on. You can be better than this. Alright. We need somebody who can handle the Vayne at top. We need somebody who can handle the Katarina at bot. Which is exactly what they need to do to effectively split push. We always have to be worried about the Fiddlesticks. The problem is I can handle either of them, but I can't handle... Oh, God. But what I can't do is handle... I really was... Oh! Yeah, I can handle either of them, but what I can't do... Oh, so close to... is handle both of them. If they're in separate lanes. I just can't move between the lanes that quickly. So even there was totally badass. Even while we're losing the game, 29-49. Even while it's in the pits of despair. While there's no possible way for us to come back from this game, likely. Even while all this is happening... I can take their most fed, incredibly fed Katarina in a 1v3 after not hitting her in the face with my ult.
when she can still do everything because she was turned away from me when I used my ult. And I can still kill it. I know it doesn't seem like the most amazing thing ever, but it is because Cassiopeia is godlike. This is brutal. Brutal. There's going to be the criticism. There inevitably always is a criticism, is that the bot lane should also be used for shutting down the enemy AD carry, not just for, like, well, the Vayne got fed. So somebody's going to say, well, the Vayne got fed, so therefore you did a bad job at bot lane. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. If this were somebody less mobile, I guarantee you, the chances of the AD carry getting fed. The actual entire original purpose of the Cassiopeia Soraka bottom lane, or the Cassiopeia whatever bottom lane, is that you're essentially knocking out their AD carry. But there's some AD carries, some marksmen that are actually pretty good at surviving. Like Vayne, because she is so mobile that she can dodge the most critical spells you have that allow you to get the damage out. And again, you've got the Janna, you've got the Ashe is a weird one because she is actually capable of kiting you. In kind of this obnoxious way where if it's like Ashe Janna, you're just kind of screwed in the lane. Where was I going with this? So anyway, normally you do actually lock out. You cut out the enemy marksman and you replace it with your damage. So if we look at the damage here, now before we look at the damage at all, I'm betting Katarina's probably doing pretty well. But let's look at the actual damage dealt and see how it adds up on the graph here. So for my team, I'm way up here. Katarina is where I expect it to be. I am ahead of the Vayne, which is, I'm surprised about. So, wait, I'm actually, let me see, 34,000 to 30,000, 32,000, 31,000 essentially with Fiddlesticks. I'm second place. And that's despite the fact that they're Katarina. Not despite the fact, that's why she's first place. There's no despite the fact there. Anyway, let's go ahead and GG well played, and thank you for watching. This is my look at the incredible Cassiopeia bottom lane awesomeness. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys later.